So Bethesda has wrapped up its E3 2018 conference, and my word, what an excellent conference that was. So far, I think it would be safe to say that Bethesda is in the lead when it comes to winning E3. I mean, they really just came out guns blazing, just game after game after game. Loads of new games announced, loads of new titles, and I really feel like there was something for everyone in that conference. So, without further ado, let's break it down and have a look. So first of all, Bethesda showed Rage 2, which was announced a couple of weeks ago after it was leaked by Walmart, and there was a nice joke there about Walmart being very trustworthy with one secrets. But yeah, they came out, and I've got to say, I was really annoyed by the live music. Just get to the point. People go to E3, I watch E3, people watch E3 for the games. They don't care about sport. They don't care about the television. They don't care to see a live band performing. You know, nothing against those guys, but that's not why people tune into E3. So that just, frankly, started off on a sour note for me there. However, we quickly got to Rage 2, and it's looking really good. The original Rage kind of got a mixed response, but it looks like this sequel is aiming to improve in all the areas that the original failed in. So it's being developed by Avalanche Studios and id Software. So two really, famed studios there with a lot of experience between them are working on it. So that should be a good combination there. Hopefully, too many cooks don't spoil the broth in this instance. We saw a trailer with loads of gameplay, loads of enemies, vehicles. It really gave me a Mad Max kind of vibe, which is fine by me, because who doesn't like Mad Max? We got a sense of, there was loads of vehicles. They said if you can see it, you can drive it. So if you see a vehicle you like, provided you can get to it, you can drive it. The car combat looked really intense, reminded me of the excellent car combat from the Mad Max video game. And there was a wide range of weapons, shotguns, assault rifles. In terms of gameplay, the fighting kind of remind me of a mix of Doom and Wolfenstein, which really kind of makes sense when you think about it. And I think that they're two excellent shooters, so that's certainly a great combination to have there. And added into the gameplay, as well as guns, of course, you will have powers. And one power they showed was Shatter, which was kind of like a fuzz radar from Skyrim in Rage 2, where you could just send enemies flying. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more powers to be shown. And yeah, I mean, it looks really promising so far. Rage 2 is set to be released in spring 2019, so not too long to wait, not too long. And yeah, I feel like this is really gonna take off where the original failed to. It was then announced that Elder Scrolls Legends, the Elder Scrolls card game, is going to relaunch on PC and mobile. It's also coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One later this year. And, they talked a big game about it, but to be honest, I don't know anyone that plays it. I know a lot of people that play Hearthstone, and I wonder if Elder Scrolls Legends can ever compete with Hearthstone. But still, if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, I guess it's nice to have the option if you want a good card game. So, we'll see how that does in the future. Moving on to the Elder Scrolls Online, which has proved to be a very popular MMORPG. It had a troubled start, I'd say, but I think it's really come along leaps and bounds since its initial launch. There's going to be a new dungeon, the Wolf Hunter dungeon, which is going to be based around werewolves. So look forward to that if you're into your dungeons. A new area is going to be released as part of Story DLC, Black Marsh. So there'll be new areas to explore, new quests, storylines, weapons, outfits, all that kind of thing. And then they finished with a trailer for Elder Scrolls Online Somerset expansion, which released recently, and was essentially a trailer saying, come play Elder Scrolls Online, it's a great time to jump in. And, I would say it probably is. If you like Elder Scrolls, then Elder Scrolls Online is probably worth checking out. I played it a bit, didn't really get into it, but I mainly try and stay away from kind of MMOs like that because they're just such time sinks. But it was good. So yeah, definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Moving on to Doom. Bethesda then announced Doom Eternal, which there was a short teaser trailer that appears to show Earth taken over by the hordes of hell. we didn't see a great deal of it, but it was announced that it will make its official debut at QuakeCon in August, so look forward to that. And it was said that there will be twice as many enemies as the 2016 Doom game, so it looks like it's going to be even more intense, even more gory, even more just kicking ass, blowing away demons with a shotgun. So, I found that very therapeutic. So, yes, I'm definitely intrigued by Doom Eternal, and no doubt Doom fans are pumped. Bethesda then talked briefly about Quake Champions. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest Quake guy around, and I don't really keep up with, the tournaments and the esports and that. However, if you are interested in Quake, you should know that it's free to play this week, and if you download it this week and play it, you get to keep the game after that. So, what a great deal. Definitely worth checking out if you're interested. I mean, what have you got to lose? We then saw a brief trailer which introduced a few new characters, but as I say, not a huge Quake guy, so don't have a lot of insight to give on that, but certainly a treat for Quake fans. Next up, we got to see something from a game that I really enjoyed last year, Prey. I thought it was excellent. It really kind of came out of nowhere for me. I'm not a big Prey guy usually, but a friend of mine recommended I play it, and I just had a blast with Prey, and I thought it was a fantastic game and kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people. But I was pleased to see that a free update has been released right now, which adds new modes. So you've got story mode, a new game plus has been added, plus survival mode, which you'll have to get all the components you can and build everything you need and try and survive as long as possible. New story DLC is coming called Moon Crash, which will be different every single time you play it. Apparently, there'll be different hazards, different enemies, different loot. So every time you go through it, it will be slightly different, which I think adds a lot of replayability. And that as well is out now. You can download it if you want. You can purchase the new DLC, and the update with the new modes is totally free. So, as a big Prey guy, I'll definitely be going back to that and at least playing it through once or twice again. It was also announced that multiplayer will be coming to Prey in a hide and seek mode, where one player is the human and five others are the aliens who can take the shape of inanimate objects, and it'll be up to the player character to try and hunt them down and reveal them. And I think that's great. That great hide and seek gameplay, I think, could prove to be really popular, and I really look forward to trying that out. Not to mention, VR is coming to Prey in both the multiplayer and single player. So if you're a VR person, then you could check out Prey using your headset. And I think Prey is a great game for VR in particular. The way the mimics suddenly jump out at you, I can see it being really scary. So need to get myself a headset. Bethesda then announced Wolfenstein Youngblood DLC for Wolfenstein 2. And this looks really excellent. It's going to be set in the 1980s in Paris, and players will take the role of BJ Blazkowicz's two twin daughters that, spoilers, his wife has at the end of the previous game. And basically, because they're twins, it seems obvious, this is going to be a co-op game. So you can play online with a friend, with you both taking the role of the daughters, and you can work together to kill Nazis. However, it was said that this can be played solo, so if you're not into that, that's fine. You can still enjoy it in single player. And we got to see a trailer of it, and it looks like his daughters are certainly like their father. And that's expected to come out in 2019. And as someone who really enjoyed Wolfenstein 2, I look forward to this, and I look forward to seeing where they go with the story from here. After that, Todd Howard came on to say a few words, and they showed a trailer for what appeared to be a joke of Skyrim Alexa. There's been all these memes and jokes online recently about Skyrim being ported to every system, people saying, you'll be able to play Skyrim on your smart fridge soon enough. And Bethesda seems to have picked up on that and created this advert where they had someone playing Skyrim on their Alexa as though it were a kind of one of those old games where you type in commands of what you want to do, those story games. And but actually it's real. This is actually real. So it seems like a joke, but it really wasn't. They've gone this far. people have confirmed online using their Alexas that you can now play Skyrim on your Alexa, just the way they showed in the footage. So if you've got Alexa, just ask to play Skyrim, and she should set that up for you. But I think that's really quite cool, actually. I don't have an Alexa, but I would be interested kind of in playing that. It seems kind of fun in a way. You know, you could get your mates around and kind of like a game of D&D, you and your friends could go on an adventure in Skyrim with Alexa. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I wonder if there'll be Wolfenstein Alexa following suit. Then we got to arguably what people were most looking forward to from Bethesda's conference, details on Fallout 76. So, Fallout 76 is the biggest Fallout game yet and is 4 times the size of Fallout 4, which itself was no small game. It's set in the hills of West Virginia, and obviously, as the name suggests, you'll be a member of Vault 76, who were put in a vault and 25 years later were ordered to go out and try and resettle the world after the bombs had fallen. This game is set before all the other Fallout games, so it's very much a prequel, and it centres around Reclamation Day, when, as I say, the inhabitants of Vault 76 go out and try and rebuild society. So we saw plenty of gameplay, and it was very impressive, I've got to say. I don't know if it's using a new engine or they've just souped it up a bit, but there's new landscape tech, better rendering, better lighting, 60 times the distance detail apparently, plus there will also be dynamic weather, so hopefully this will feel, you know, a lot more spruced up compared to previous Bethesda games like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, which have been using the same engine for just so long now. It features 6 distinct different regions. There'll be new creatures that you'll have to fend off, new enemies, and it was announced, big surprise, this is multiplayer, it's entirely online. However, if you enjoy your single player games, you can play this alone or just with your friends if you want. So although it is a multiplayer game, you can just play this by yourself if you so desire. However, obviously there is an emphasis on teaming up with other people, your friends around online, and, you know, rebuilding together. There will be survival features in it, but Todd Howard said it's more kind of soft-core survival as opposed to like hardcore survival. This isn't necessarily a survival game, but there will be survival elements to it. Your character is not tied to a server, so whenever you play as them, your XP, the things you earn, will remain with your character. There'll be only dozens of other players to play with, because obviously this is post-apocalyptic. This isn't, you know, Disneyland. This isn't meant to be a massive MMORPG. There's not going to be hundreds or thousands of other players. It will just be you and a team of core members who you'll be working with to rebuild West Virginia. You can fight other players. You can build whatever you want, wherever you want. When you build a base, you'll need to protect it from enemies, from rival players, from monsters that will come and try and just knock it down. And it was shown that there will be areas where if you get enough technology, you can fire nukes. Now you can fire nukes into enemy territory, you can fire nukes at a rival player base, and everything they work so hard to build. So yeah, I mean, giving players nukes, what were they thinking? I think there's just going to be havoc wrecked on that, so we'll see. The game will have dedicated servers, so it should be fairly stable, and the beta is set to be released in the near future just to test it and, you know, give it a stress test, as it were. A Power Armor edition was announced, which includes figures that put on a glow-in-the-dark map, so you can, you know, plan out your expansion as you expand into territories. And the creme de la creme of this Power Armor edition is a life-size Power Armor helmet, which you can actually wear and has voice changing capabilities and a little light on the front. So if you got the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4, you can add the helmet to your collection. So no doubt many people will be longing to have that sat on their shelf. And Fallout 76 is coming out sooner rather than later, November 14th, which really isn't that long away. That means I think the beta should be coming very soon. So keep an eye out for signing up for that if you are interested. But yeah, I think it looks really promising. You know, generally I prefer single player experiences like Skyrim, like Fallout 4. But I have faith in Bethesda, and I feel like this game encourages multiplayer, but in a good way. If you see what I mean, I like the idea of rebuilding with other people, working together, a bit like Minecraft in that sense. I thought that was good, the way Minecraft teams could work together to build incredible stuff. And like Minecraft, I look forward to seeing what stuff people build in Fallout 76. So yeah, definitely a great announcement, very meaty. I feel like we got plenty of information there, and I look forward to leaving Vault 76. It was then briefly announced that along with that Fallout news, Fallout Shelter, almost 2 years to the day of being released originally, is now available on the PS4 and the Switch right now, and as ever, it's completely free of charge. So if you're craving becoming the overseer of your own vault, then give that a download. Bethesda had a real treat for Elder Scrolls fans in the form of the Elder Scrolls Blades. So basically this is a mobile game designed to be like a proper main Elder Scrolls game, console-like graphics, console-like gameplay, a true experience, not just some knockoff mobile game. So basically, it is essentially an Elder Scrolls game, but for mobile, and it will also be available on consoles and PC. So if you want to play it on your TV, you can. There'll be Abyss mode, which is like an endless dungeon, and there'll be Arena mode, which is 1v1 against other players. So very much like Elder Scrolls Arena, kind of harking back to that period. Town mode, which will have a story that allows you to build up your own town as you see fit. You can build it up, customize it as you want, and you'll be able to visit your friends' town. So to see what they've made, you can have friends over to yours. So a lot of interactivity there. It will have VR support. So again, if you've got a headset, Bethesda's really spearheading support for VR. All platforms can play together apparently. I mean that's incredible. I know there has been some cross-platform play in the past with some games, but I know Sony's been very adverse to it. But it seems like indeed Xbox One players will be able to play with PS4 players. I hope that is the case. It may not be, it hasn't been confirmed by Sony yet, but certainly it seems Bethesda wants everyone to be able to play together regardless of what platform you're on, or if you're on mobile or whatever. Pre-register is available now and you'll get early access, so check that out. And best of all, it will be absolutely free. I'm sure there'll be microtransactions in the game, in-app purchases, that kind of thing. But again, I mean, a free experience, so you've got nothing to lose, even if it turns out to be rubbish. But I'm really quite interested in this, so I'm definitely going to give it a spin. I don't know if I'll bother playing it mobile, I'll probably just download it on my PS4. But yeah, I think this is a great game. People who have commutes, you'll have something to play on the go. If it comes out to Switch, which I assume it will, they didn't say it wouldn't, and they said it's coming to consoles, so I think it's a great little game to be able to play on your Switch in handheld mode. And yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. I like the idea of going on a quest and then coming back, customizing my town, going to other people's towns, seeing what they've done, getting inspiration, and yeah, seeing what other people build. So definitely excited for this. Elder Scrolls Blades, check it out. Bethesda then announced a game that has long been in the works and long been rumoured, Starfield. We thought we might see this at Bethesda's last year's E3 conference, but we didn't. Basically, rumours have been abound for a long time with this. It's a sci-fi RPG and set in space essentially. So, Elder Scrolls is your fantasy, Fallout's your post-apocalyptic, and Starfield is your space RPG. So apparently it's going to be single player, just like Skyrim, just like Fallout 4. We got to see a very brief teaser trailer, very scarce on details there. And from what I'm hearing online, it's slated to be released on next gen. I don't know if that's confirmed yet, but it would make sense. I know they showed a very short teaser trailer, but I wouldn't expect this for a few years at least. So yeah, scarce details, but feels good that Bethesda's finally officially announced Starfield. I look forward to seeing what it's like. The Mass Effect series is on ice following Mass Effect Andromeda, how much of a shit show that was. So fair play. I hope Bethesda takes up the space RPG space now, as it were. We need space RPGs, and Bethesda has us covered. So Starfield, I'm definitely keeping my ear to the ground when it comes to this one. And then last, but certainly not least, as though Bethesda hadn't given us enough treats, we saw something that fans have been pestering Bethesda about for years, ever since 2011 you might say, and something I've been eagerly anticipating, The Elder Scrolls 6. Now, we just saw a 20-second teaser trailer, but my god, I'm so excited. I love The Elder Scrolls, I love it more than Fallout. It's just so my jam. I would hate to know how many hours I put to Skyrim across my Xbox 360 version and my PC version. I could imagine it coming close to 1,000 hours. I'm not proud to admit that, but Skyrim I just have so many memories of. I was so pumped for it when it was released, and I've been eagerly anticipating The Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I'm sure there'll be loads of videos analysing the trailer, and maybe I'll do one to see where this might be set and what we can expect, what age it's set in. But just holy shit! For now, we're finally got it confirmed that The Elder Scrolls 6 is on its way. It's on the horizon. I'm sure it will still be a couple of years away, so I wouldn't get too excited just yet. Don't expect it to be released next year. But it's great just to have that confirmation, just for Bethesda to acknowledge how passionate fans are about this game, and that it's coming. It's coming. So we'll have to be patient. But The Elder Scrolls 6 is on its way, and I, for one, just cannot wait. So there you have it. That was Bethesda's E3 2018 press conference, and so far I think they are the winners of E3. We still got to see Sony, still got to see Nintendo, Ubisoft, Square Enix, but so far, I would give the crown to Bethesda. I thought it was an excellent conference. I really felt like there was just something for everyone. Any game by Bethesda you enjoy, I feel like there was something for you, whether it be Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. There was just so much given there. The only absent game I could really think of was No Dishonored, but to be fair, I feel like that series has kind of wrapped following Death of the Outsider. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're just giving that a rest before they reboot Dishonored or something. But that was fine. I don't think anyone was really expecting to see any Dishonored. And so I think it was just a really strong conference, and they did a cracking job. Couple of missteps, like with the live music, and I feel like not all of the jokes landed really. There was a couple of awkward bits, but in terms of games, just really solid. So well done, Bethesda. But I haven't forgotten that you want paid mods. So don't think you snuck that past me. You had a very impressive conference, I will give you that, but I haven't forgotten last year's Creators Club, which I think has since pretty much died a death and hopefully will stay dead. But, as I say, these companies, they're there to make money, and sometimes they'll make money and be good to consumers, sometimes they won't. It seems like Bethesda, really is concentrating on gamers at the moment, and I hope that stays. But, remember, they're not our friends. You mustn't forget that. So, yeah, cracking conference. Well done, Bethesda. Great job.